So cool. I am super excited to have our partner and client, Corey, joining us today for the spotlight interview. So before I dive in, Corey, can you please just let us know who you are, what you specialize in, right, regarding real estate, and where you're from, a little bit of all that good stuff.
Okay, well, I am Corey Wells. I am a realtor here in Rancho Cucamonga, California. I'm on the southern part of Southern California where it's very competitive, but I am in residential real estate.
Okay, okay.
Love it.
Love it, love it. Residential. So that's what you specialize in. And
Yeah.
I'm curious to know this one thing, Corey, bro, just to dive in. What was going on in your life and in business that, led you to looking for a solution like Meskula, like what we offer? And just mainly like, what was the reason? What were you looking for? Yeah, what was it?
Well, my business has been mainly based around my sphere of influence, referrals, everything like that. And that business seemed to have dried up for me with interest rates going up and that sort of thing. So I had to really get back to work. So I hadn't really had to prospect for new business outside of my realm of people. So I really needed help doing that. I did some of the door-to-door stuff and none of that really did seem to be working. Dropping off postcards, dropping off flyers. I wasn't getting anything off of any of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this got me back into teaching me some of the ins and outs of the Facebook advertising, which I had tried doing my own, and just ran into so many walls of, I had a 1 cent ad spend and I couldn't figure out how to change it for the life of me. It was just all of these things that I'm like, I'm trying. There's people that know how to do this stuff, they know how to create the ads to draw the attention and stuff. And so, I mean, it happened really fast once I did sign on with you guys.
I love it. That was going to be one of my next questions, as far as what were you doing before to get leads? And you just told me, like, yeah, I had sphere of influence. I was trying some door knocking, but it wasn't going great, right? And also doing ads on your own. I get it. It seems like it's, just simple, but sometimes you realize it's like, well, I might need some help. Right?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I'm glad you went down that path. Good, good. And I want to know this. We've been working 2-3 months together, ish. So I want to hear from you. What are the overall results so far? Like, as far as leads coming in, appointments you've been on. I hear something about a listing. I would love to know about, that price point. Yeah, like, let's start there.
Okay, well, I do have a listing that is coming on the market next week. So we are doing our photo shoot on Tuesday. So that one is coming on the market next week. It's a little bit out of my area, but hey, you know what? I'll go anywhere at this point. So I am going there to take that listing. I've got another one that is close to home that they were a little bit, they were going to be closer. Some things changed in her life and I got pushed to the wayside, but I think that I still got her in my pocket, as well as, I've got a couple of other people that are sitting here that are, spring of next year, towards the beginning of next year. And it's filling my pipeline.
Filling up the pipeline. You stole the word from me. Yes, it's filling up the pipeline. I love it. And this Tuesday one, we're getting the pictures done. What are we looking at as far as price point? Even though you have to, reach out of where you are exactly.
Right. It's going to be $630, and which was a good price. And then we kind of figured out that there's some solar. That is one of the things that is huge in California right now, is everybody's going solar, and anything new built, you've got to have solar on it. So I'm thinking it's going to be easier than normal just to get somebody to take over this lease with how electricity has been over the last few years. So I'm really hoping to get somebody that is going to be okay with taking over the lease. So
Good. 6:30 is great. Are we talking about maybe 2.5, 3 commission per person?
Yes, 2.5. Yeah.
Good, good.
I
Okay.
don't go lower than that.
No, and why should we, right?
Right.
I love, okay, and you already mentioned, and this is what I love, Corey. You already mentioned, hey, so I have this one coming up. I have another one that kind of backed out. Life happens, but I feel that she's still in my pocket. I feel that we're
Yeah.
still heading somewhere. And additional to that, all the ones you mentioned, pipeline is building up, it's filling
Right.
up, which means I'm not only having business now, but I'm assuring business for further down the road, which I find just amazing, right? That's what we all should be worried about, not just now, but making it a long-term
Yeah,
business.
for sure.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So I want to ask you this. This is a big one. So about your experience with Meskula, we're talking about when you hopped in, when we onboarded, what things happened when you started working with us. Were there any changes like in your business and life, mindset?
Absolutely. And just even watching some of the coaching calls, kind of, it just refreshed a lot of things in my memory because I have been doing this for a very long time. But as time goes on, you get set in your ways and you quit doing things along the way that it just kind of reminded me and brought it back to the forefront of, you know what, Corey, like you're not making your calls. You need to get back on calling your past clients. You need to, all of these different things that it brought back to the forefront for me that I haven't been doing.
Yeah.
And try and get myself back onto track, onto a schedule that, I'm not allowed to go to the store at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's just not allowed anymore.
Right. Discipline, right?
Yes.
At the end of the day. And now that we're mentioning all this, I'm curious to know, like, with the changes you've seen, with the results you've seen, what do you see for your future with, now working with us, or even just like what you've acquired as far as mindset, as far as discipline, what you said? How do you see yourself for your future business? What does this mean for your future business?
Well, the 1.6 million realtors that are going to survive this market, I will be one of them. So, because this is definitely a tough market.
Yes, you will. I am super sure. I mean, we've been together on calls. We've been going through, what's been going on with leads, with everything. So I know that you will. You are a go-getter. I'm proud of that. Thank you for that attitude. Well, yes. And this other one that comes to mind is, what would you say you love the most about working with us? Like, we have a few things going on, right? So I consider we do have support, the community, coaching. So like, thoughts on those all around?
Yeah, and I have been on a few of the coaching calls. I wish that they were at a better time for myself. I love that I can go back and they are recorded. So
Yeah.
I love that I could do that and do it at my leisure when it is good for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you like, the coaching, is that what I'm hearing? Like,
Right. Yeah, because it reminds you. It just reminds you. It gives you some other ideas, what other people are doing that's working for them. Other things to try with people that you're talking to and you're not getting anywhere.
correct. Yeah, I agree. It's always good to be reminded, because sometimes it's not that we don't know things. It's,
Right.
it's that we forget, and we
Forget.
forget to do
Yeah, their habit. They get out of habit, or just other
it.
things. There's lots of apples.
There is. And I heard you say, so that was going to be my next question. Like, what would you say we could improve? So one thing I kind of caught from this was like, well, maybe you could move around some schedules for us specific people over here, right?
Well, because it's pretty early for me. It's at 6:30. But a lot of the coaching calls are early.
Mm-hmm.
I do think if they were closer to 8 o'clock my time, I would be able to jump on more calls. But I mean, it is what it is, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and good news, actually, we have heard that from one or two other partners over in Pacific time zones. So we are taking that into consideration and seeing what we can move around. So good news there.
Awesome.
Yeah. aside from that, aside from making sometimes more accessible, is there anything else you would recommend to us as your partners? Like, you could improve on this as well. Is there anything that's come to mind?
No, not really. Not really. I have a, you know, I'm technically challenged, as you know, not super, but a little. Um, and just trying to get away from paper has been, that is the most difficult thing about this whole process for me, because I am still holding on. My papers after all of our talks. So,
Long, I'm just kidding. Okay. Well, yeah, it's a challenge, isn't it? It puts us
yeah,
in the zone to, sometimes it's discomfort, sometimes it's a challenge. All that means is we're ready to level up.
right.
That just means we're going somewhere. So I'm glad. If it feels
Yeah.
like
It
uncomfortable,
is painful. It's painful.
yeah, yeah. And that actually brings me to something else I wanted to ask, which was like, what was your biggest fear before getting started with Meskula? Like, did you think about that? Did you think about other things?
Um, it's not calling people, because that really doesn't bother me so much. Um, I guess it's really kind of, I and this is terrible to say, I get scared of getting too busy that I can't handle it.
Mhm.
And then it goes into my nighttime hours. And I mean, and because this happened to me a month ago, all of a sudden I went from not having a whole lot going on to having all of this stuff going on. And then I've got 5 deals in escrow, and I've got this going and that going. And I'm just going, oh my gosh, from not having anything all in the beginning of the year, so it kind of just all came in a huge wave for me. And I get scared of that, and then dropping the ball somewhere, or not catching somebody else that I could have grabbed. So
Yeah.
just that's the only part that really scares me.
Yeah, that you were kind of like, what if I get into this and I get too busy and you can't
Right.
handle it? Okay. Well, I like to think that this is one of the things that I really value about being here myself at Meskula, is that we never believe that partner hops on, we get leads and we just like, good luck. It's all about, okay. And if it comes to that point, like, Corey, are you ready to grow? Do you need help to grow your team? Do you need, like, are you ready to scale up? Which is one thing I love. And I feel that with the fear you just mentioned, it's only transferred over to opportunity in my eyes, right? It's like, okay, well, if we get that busy, then let's help you grow.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
I love. Yeah.
It just needs to be consistent like that, which, this is all part of creating that pipeline to be able to do that.
Yeah. Consistent opportunity flow.
Yes, for sure.
Great. And I would like to hear this from you, because I know it could help, other people. But the question is, what would you say to other agents that are maybe considering working with us, considering taking that step? In your experience, what you've gone through, what would you say?
It is a big investment, but that's what it is. It's an investment into yourself and your future business, and learning kind of a new way, especially if you're, I don't want to say older, because I hate to consider myself as older, but I want been in the business, let's just say that, for a long time. If you've been doing this a long time, and I wasn't really scared of social media. I just was having really a hard time tackling it and creating ads, and I had spent quite a bit of money on ads, but getting any return for that investment. And I am seeing that with your program.
Mm-hmm. So I believe that we might have, at the beginning of our program, we always say it takes 74, 97 days to, get your first
Right.
listing. It seems like we pretty much hit that line, 2-3 months, and we are on the first listing.
Yes,
right.
very much.
I love it. So yeah, I like what you said. I feel that as far as investments go, and as far as optimizing our time, which is what you're saying about the ads, I was running my own ads, not sure I was being as efficient, not sure I was getting the results. And I feel like, I don't know if you agree, when we focus on what I'm going to be doing and what I'm going to be doing great at, and not just trying to cover everything, sometimes, it goes further, and then you accept where you need a little bit of assistance, and it just helps you grow, right?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, optimizing. I totally agree. I feel that way. And I love this. So other agents, considering it's like you need to put in the work to get the results, right? You need to
Absolutely. That's what it's all about right now, is you do have to do the work. It's not, I've been doing this a long time and it doesn't just fall on your lap.
No, no, not magic at all.
No.
It's
Nope.
hard work. It's hard work. But I don't know about you. I have truly enjoyed our months here together, our time here together. Looking forward to more listings, more opportunities, building up the pipeline even more. And who knows, maybe even growing that team.
Yes. Yeah. Hopefully maybe by the 6-month mark, right?
Yes, yes. I'm super happy. Jorge, I really want to thank you because this has been amazing hearing all of your feedback. I know it's going to help other people as well. Sometimes we are scared to take that leap of that leap of faith because we don't know what it's all about. I feel like whoever watches this and gets your point of view will know exactly what it's about. And I really thank you for your time today for the spotlight interview.
Yes. Thank you so much.